Hello everyone, this is Mr. K, and today we're going to be learning all about surface area. Before we get started, make sure you've got your name in the upper left-hand corner, and you've circled your period in the upper right-hand corner. Surface area deals with three-dimensional shapes, things like boxes or prisms and cylinders. Now, surface area is the total of the areas of each surface or side of a figure. So we're talking about all the area on the outside of these shapes. We don't care so much what's going on around on the inside. That's volume. We're just going to be talking about the outside today. Now, some characteristics of surface area are the amount of space covering the surface of an object. So some key words for this are going to be covers, wraps, and paints. These are our key words because they all deal with the outside of shapes. So for example, if you wanted to cover your couch in new cloth, you'd be covering the outside or the surface area of that couch. If you wanted to wrap a present for your cousin, you'd be covering the outside or the surface area of that present in wrapping paper. And finally, if you wanted to paint, let's say, a birdhouse, you'd be painting the outside or the surface area of that birdhouse. Now, let's look at some shapes. Here we have two shapes that I've already told you the names of. We've got a rectangular prism and a cylinder. Next to these shapes, we have what's called their nets. Now, nets is a word you might remember from 6th grade, but if not, that's okay. A net of a three-dimensional figure is what that figure would look like if we cut out all the sides and smushed them together. So for example, with this rectangular prism, we've got the front and the back of the shape, which are these two squares here. We've got the top and the bottom, which are also in our net. And finally, we've got our left and our right. So our rectangular prism has 6 sides, and we've got 6 sides in our net. So they match up. Now for our cylinder, it's a little trickier. The easy ones to spot are the two circles that make up the top and the bottom of our cylinder. Now, this last midsection is a little trickier, but you can use a Coke can to think about it. If you think about cutting the top and bottom circles off of a Coke can, what would you be left with? Well, you'd have a hollow tube that kind of looks like a paper towel tube. If you were to cut that tube in half, right down the middle, and then flatten it out, you would get a rectangle, which is definitely easier to find the area of. Finally, let's talk about some non-examples for surface area. Surface area is not the inside space of a figure, and it is also not filling in a figure or filling it up. Both of these are volume, and we will deal with those in a later video.